Okay, so Cloud Firestore is a database. It's a type of database that allows you to keep your data on the cloud. Okay, so I just want to introduce it to you in this video. So yeah, we are going to go through two major processes. First, I'm going to show you how to have an account where you can always upload your stuff to it, and I'm going to show you how you can always upload your stuff to it or how to read from it. Okay, so over here I have a database. So Cloud Firestore is divided into three basic sections: the name of the database you have. So this is just one database. I could have another database called person or customers. Then over here you have what is called a document. Okay, so let's say this is a person. We'll create our own database, but for now I just wanted to get the whole structure. So let's say these are customers. This is customer A. Let's say Mr. Kenneth. Okay, Mr. Kenneth. This is Madam AC. This is Madam what? Madam Joanna. All right, so these are a list of customers. All right, now if I take Mr. Kenneth, I will find his location. I will find his what I will find information about one person. So this is called a collection. All right, so a collection about one person saved in a database, or a collection about several people saved in a database. Right, so this is a previous project I worked on. Because the data is not so sensitive, that's why I'm sharing it with you. So let's go ahead and create our own project. So first of all, you need to come to console.firebase.google.com. all right, now if you come to this, that's where you find this. All right, so that when you come here, I will show you how to create your own project. So if you are new to it, then you probably have to sign up. Okay, I've gone way beyond these levels. I can't sign up again, so you would have to find your way through that. So if you're new to it, you have to sign up, and then after you sign up, you would probably have an option like this. So I'm going to try to create an account, so and a project. So you probably have options like this. You probably get this interface. If you don't get this interface, at check at this top corner. I'm not sure what will be there, but you see something about add a project, okay, or all projects or something like that, right? So if you select it, then you have this option here to create your own project or a new project. So I'm going to call our project, because we're going to work on Python. I'm going to call it Firescript, all right, or FirePy. Let's call it Firescript, because this is Firebase and it's a script. So we'll call it Firescript, and then I'll say continue. Now over here, you can just keep the defaults and then you proceed. This allows you to analyze the usage of your app. All right, okay, so now you're asked to select an account. So you just select select the default for now. All right, then later on you can edit it, and then you create your project. It will take a while to create depending on how fast your internet is, but let's give it a moment and then it will create. Okay, it's almost done. There you go, your new project is ready. Okay, so you continue. Now the reason why we had to create a new project is you can't put several projects on one database. For instance, you've made a project that you've worked on, or you've created an app or a website that is for a specific company, and let's say, oh, I want you to make an app that traces my customers, or that keeps data of my customers, so that I can be able to send them messages and stuff. And another person comes to say, oh, my office is about this and I want you to. Most of the times it's advisable to create new projects for every kind of scenario. All right, except in the case where you see that they'll be sharing this, there's a need for them to share databases. For instance, a bank with several branches, then you probably have to use one database for that. All right, so now that your project is created, you have, this is basically your interface. Okay, but this is where I want us to work on. Now you have the option to add an iOS app to it, an Android app to it, a web app to it, or even a game, all right, a Unity app. So what we are going to do is you are going to select, because you are working on scripts. So if you are working on Flutter, or let's say Android Studios, using whatever language to design any Android app as iOS app or Android app, you select any of these options specific to what you are working on, all right. But we are working on a Python script, so we are going to select this web option, okay. And when you select the web option, they're going to ask you to give it a nickname. So I would probably say FirePy because it's on Python, all right, or Firebase Py, something like this. I like the FirePy. So then you can, if you feel like your app, you probably need to host it, you can select the hosting. Hosting means that you want it to be online. After you are done, you would want your work to you would want, mostly it's done for websites. Okay, so that's it's because we're working on websites, so I'm going to ignore this one. Or if you want, just fine, select it. Mostly it's done for websites, like you are creating a website and you want that the website will be hosted, meaning that you want that when you're done you can upload your website online so that people can search for it and then use it whenever they want. That's what it means to host. Okay, so but for now I think we should set it up later. It will just delay us. And then you can, after you've given it a name, you can register the app. There's just a couple of things we need to do, then we'll be good to go into Python language. All right, so over here they are showing you how you can use your app. First you need tools called Firebase tools or Firebase. So you probably need to install it if you don't have it on your command prompt. Okay, so yep. So now let's click on continue. We'll get back to all these. Okay, we'll get back to them. So select continue. All right, so now you can see, where is it? Let me just refresh this. Okay, good. So you can see over here that there's a script version of FirePy. All right, you see we created it as FirePy. That's the name of our website if it were to be a website. So assuming I say I want to create again, I will have the chance to add the other devices that I have not added. All right, but in this case you can see that this project now has a database, Firestore and real-time database. Okay, so I'm going to select on Firestore database like this, and you can see that currently it's empty. You don't have data inside it, so you would select create data, create database. All right, so when I say create database, they'll ask me if I want to select it in production mode or in test mode. So in production mode, the difference is that it's protected. Okay, if it's in production mode, you can't read or write to it by weird means like what we are coming to do. So I'm going to create it in test mode. So in test mode, it will allow me to be able to access the database from any other place. The thing is, the basic difference is about security. So you can see that the default security rules for test mode allows anyone with a database reference to view it, edit it, and delete all data in your database. So it's all about how hard or soft the rules are. But because we want to access it from Python, you can select test mode. You can even select it in production mode, but you just have to change your rules later on when you're done. So for now, let's select in test mode and then we'll hit next. And then you select the location where you want your database, you want to read your database from. Okay, so it's good to always select one close to you, but I'll just maintain Europe. I think it's much closer. And then after that, you hit enable. You give it some time to organize your database and then load it. Okay, so now you can see that it has loaded your database, the new database. All right, so what you're going to do here is you're going to create a so like I said, there are different, you start by creating a collection. Okay, so let's say let's call it customers. All right, for the sake of understanding let's call it customers. All right, so you ask it to auto ID, just allow it to auto ID unless you want to give your own ID. So customers, and then you give it a name. Sorry, you give it, so let's say instead of auto ID I'll give our own ID. So I'll just say I'll say customer A, let me call it Kenneth, like this. All right, so that's the name of this document. All right, and Kenneth has information, so I could just say full name or name. Okay, let me say name for the purpose of, so I'll say name Kenneth Okran, something like this. All right, so I've given information about Kenneth. I could add like something like age. So it's good to be consistent with the names of your keys. All right, so it's just like a dictionary, key value pair. So age, I want you to understand this way before we go into scripting, so that you have a visual understanding of what's happening. So age, instead of a string, the age will be a number, right? So I'll be like 23. That's how old he is. Then I think let's just add a third option. What? Let's add phone number. Okay, contact or number. Contact. So, well, for this one, let's make it a string, so that I don't know if there's an option for contacts. All right, so let's make it a string. So I'll say 05526. Okay, let me give some random numbers like this. All right, so now that you are done giving information about one person, Kenneth, you can save. Okay, so it's two ways. You can auto ID. If you set auto ID, it will have generated a random number for you here. Okay, then giving you information about the person. But if you select um, to give your own name, then that's fine. So over here, if you think you want to give some more information about Kenneth, you can just select add field, and then you add field. All right, else you can create another document. Let's say you want to add what, let's add another person called Mary. Okay, Mary, and then I'll say name. Did I start with a name? Mary Joy. All right, and age, I think the next one was an age, right, where it was a number. So it's good to be consistent with the position of your variables. Okay, so age, let's say she's 33. And what was the last thing? Contact. Contact 024469 blah blah. All right, like this, and you have another document. All right, so what I want you to know is, first of all, you should have first of all you should have a collection, then you have document, then you have the information about the document or the field. All right, and these things, age, contact, name, they should be inconsistent spelling. Don't spell name here with H here with a capital A, and somewhere else you spell H with a small a, contact with small a, C, and then somewhere else you spell contact with, it will just be difficult accessing your data later on when you need it. You understand? All right, so now that this is done, you have your database. Now we want to find a way to connect our database to um our script. Okay, so in this part I'm going to show you how you connect your database to your script. So I already said you have your collection here. You could have created another collection. Maybe this time, instead of customers, it's for employees or something. Various kinds of collections. Okay, so this collection is for customers. You could have as many customers as you need. And then, all right, so you have your collection and your document and your fields. So now we want to find a way to connect this database to our Python script. How do we do it? First of all, you need to come to your settings. Okay, so I'll come to settings here and I'll say project settings, like this. All right, so when I'm in the project settings, I will, so these are settings you could have actually made to your project. Okay, and if you feel like you want to remove the FirePy for the website, you can just remove it from here. But then what we want to do is you go to service and accounts. All right, so over here, all right, it's still loading. Good. So over here, it allows you to be able to generate a private key. It allows you to generate a private key for your website or for your app, your script. Okay, so because we are working on Python, you select Python. If you're working on any other language, you just select that language, and it will give you the corresponding script you need to connect to your database. Okay, so this script will allow you to connect to your database, which means that you have to have Firebase admin. Okay, so as you can see, it's using Firebase admin, so you'd have to install it on your command prompt. All right, so if you've selected for Python, you can just generate key. Okay, now this is very important. They are telling you this because anyone who has this file you're about to create can access your database. All right, so you have to be careful what you do with it or where you keep it. So I'm going to select generate key, and it's going to ask me to download it. So for now I'm downloading it to my desktop. Or where do you think? Let me just download it straight to our module folder. We have a folder we created for get. I already had something there, so I'm just going to remove it. I don't want to touch it. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. Okay, so I'm going to save Firescript. What's the name? Yeah, I'm going to just save this one into that folder. All right, and then I'm going to hit save. All right, so when I save it, it's done. The next step is going to Anaconda Spyder and connecting Anaconda Spyder to our database so that we can read and write to and fro our database. All right, so let's go to Anaconda Spyder.